CodingKanju is a channel that posts Godot news once every 4 to 8 weeks. I like this because there isn't enough worthwhile things to talk about in the Godot space, so whenever he makes a video, it actually feels relevant and important, rather than just another puff piece to justify a weekly quota. Garbage has a lot of great FPS tutorial videos that can get you started with making your own FPS game. I tried making my own character controller, but his was way better, so parts of his tutorial are actually currently in my game. Since then, he did a venturing in the PS1/Nintendo 64 art style space, but has landed on a solid niche where he talks about tips, tricks around what FPS developers do to make their gameplay feel more realistic or fun. Let's Talk Game Design is a channel I found shortly after he made his second video, so I'm glad it's managed to gain a decent following. It is primarily an entertainment devlog channel where he uses ClickFusion Free to make his games. I enjoy his sense of humor and his editing style. The other thing I like about him is that his channel has likely lowered the perceived barrier to entry with game development. He doesn't claim to be great, but he also doesn't come off as incompetent, which gives off this "you're learning with the developer" vibe. MizIsIs is a large variety channel centered around being a Godot game developer. He's probably best known for his 4 Gamedevs 1 art kit, which produces a good entry point for people understanding what a game jam is and what a single creator is able to achieve in them. Otherwise, you got various tutorials, discussions on game dev culture, critiques on game dev culture, devlogs, and a bunch of other miscellaneous videos centered around anyone who's interested in game dev. He did state that he did YouTube primarily to establish an audience so he could sell games. He's managed to get a decent amount of sales with his latest game, and has since put YouTube on the back burner. I have no idea if he will return to posting regularly, but it's still a nice slice of content for those who haven't seen it before. DevDuck is a devlog channel whose style is more about showcasing how someone can make progress in game dev without sacrificing a healthy lifestyle. He is making a dream game 2D action RPG with pixel art and crafting mechanics, which may as well be the tomato sauce of condiments, but I'm primarily watching him for how he handles the balancing act of getting a house, getting married, getting a puppy with game dev. There is a decent amount of productivity tips you can get from his videos, and it's worth looking to see if any of them are compatible with you and your current situation. Lost Relic is a game dev opinion channel centered around those trying to make it their full-time job without taking unnecessary financial risks. A lot of his videos are around game launches, marketing, wishlist conversion, Kickstarters, as well as gaining an audience. Pretty much all of the soft skills needed to turn this hobby into a viable career rather than a YOLO pipe dream. While not achieving the indie dream yet, he does have a portfolio that makes him worth listening to. His full-time job is actually being a game developer, and he's been making games for a while, where he was making games back during the Flash era of Newgrounds and other various sites. He's still friends with some people from this era, so you get interviews with developers from games that you may have heard of like Swords and Sandals. The channel's discussion videos are more around how to think about a particular question rather than providing you with a direct answer. Given his channel is more on the business and planning side of game dev, the slow nuanced discussions are important as success is not always guaranteed and everyone's personal circumstance is different, so there isn't exactly a right way to do something. Phillips' channel is not really about game development, but he does have a Game Maker series that is absolutely worth watching. It is a journey of what he was making as a kid in 1999 to him finally winning a game jam in 2021. This is the series that made me want to give game dev another try back in 2020, and I'm glad I did. Many other channels made it seem like the people either had the skills or they didn't, and this series presented a lot of the in-between milestones that let me connect the dots. I recommend giving it a watch.